May I come in, sir?
Yes. Please come.
Good
Prashant.
evening, sir. Yes.
Please sit down, Prashant.
Thank you, sir.
Prashant, introduce yourself to us.
So, as you mentioned, my name is Prashant Raj. So, I belong to Ghaziabad district of Uttar Pradesh. I did my schooling from DAV Public School, Saibabad. After that, I did my BTech in Industrial and Production Engineering from NIT Jalandhar. So, last year I was selected as Deputy Collector in the UP government, and the joining is expected by March end. My hobbies are listening to podcasts with regard to entrepreneurship and self-development, and watching basketball.
So, Prashant, don't you think Ghaziabad is also emerging as another, very remarkable city?
So, Ghaziabad, in fact, which started as a satellite city to Delhi. Now, its GDP has reached around 31,000 crores. It has a variety of industries with regard to manufacturing as well as service industries, and therefore its growth is.
So, along with the industries, the quality of life is also good in Ghaziabad.
So, quality of life with regard to connectivity services and lifestyle services, etc., is good. But one emerging problem is of air pollution and the garbage disposal facilities. So, in that direction, work needs to be done.
So, this pollution in Ghaziabad, what do you account it for? Is it the same as in Delhi, or you think the Ghaziabad is more of industrial pollution and less of vehicular emissions or the biomass or dust, whatever? What are the principal reasons for Ghaziabad being so polluted?
So if we compare it to Delhi, reasons are almost similar. But in Ghaziabad, industrial pollution is a major problem. And the dust which is produced from the construction activities which are operating in Ghaziabad, these two are the major reasons.
So Uttar Pradesh had its global summit.
Yes, sir.
So why is it that Western UP gets most of the investments and Central UP and Southern UP and Bundelkhand area did not get so much?
So it is a reality that in the recent Global Investor Summit, only 5 districts got 50% of the total money, and they were majorly the Western district. So primary reason is the infrastructure facilities which are present in the Western district. They are much better as compared to the Eastern district and the other areas. And thus the government is working to prepare a good foundation in the Eastern district as well. So in the coming time, they will also attract good investment.
Prashant, you are an industrial production engineer.
Yes, sir.
Now, quality control is a very important aspect in production engineering. So, how do you think the technology, the new technology, whether it is artificial intelligence or any other way, will improve the quality control for any product, industrial product?
So, quality control aims to identify the waste products and aims to eliminate them from the process. So, the emerging technologies and particularly the artificial intelligence, they will help us to early identification of the issues which may occur. It will not only be after the product, after which the quality check occurs. We will be able to identify the loopholes which may occur in the process. So, artificial intelligence and...
Tried something in your internship, Prashant, in any product industry where you have applied artificial intelligence as a, just for learning and something has come up? Can you cite an example where you have worked?
So, specifically, we have not applied artificial intelligence, but in the final year project, we used a simulation model in order to solve the traffic management problem in PAP Chowk in Jalandhar, in the area.
But simulation model is more of quantitative method. It's more of operations research rather than artificial intelligence.
Yes, sir. It is based on operations research and the simulation identification.
What has happened? So, in what manner India has gained with Quad declaration?
So, with regard to the recent...
Yesterday.
Something. Oh. So, the problem, India had to face problem with regard to stand at the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And as the Japanese foreign minister also highlighted, that this is a group of, it is like Beatles. So we may have differences and we may also give solo albums. So our group as a whole, as a quad, we may have certain differences on particular issues, but it does not mean that there are differences.
But were there differences? I think it was the first success we had when there was no dissent from any of the participating countries, unlike G20. What were the announcements? What was the joint statement or joint communique after the quad meeting? What did they address?
So, sorry, sir.
If you don't know, doesn't matter.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. So why did we fail in G20 foreign ministers meeting? We could not bring everyone together.
So the existing member of the G20 had their apprehensions against Russia and China, due to which they were not ready to come at a common stand.
So did India yield to the Western bloc?
So India did not. They uphold the statement that they said, and the statement that Prime Minister Modi gave in the recent time, that it is not an era of war. So we are upholding that statement.
Prashant, since you did not mention, let me tell. In Quad, India did raise about the Ukraine conflict and said that it should bring peace, just peace, and also that nuclear weapons should not be used. So it was a straight attack on Russia in Quad, where India was a partner. But in G20, it refrained from criticizing Russia and Ukraine. Why do you think there was a difference in the approach of India?
So the main reason for that was G20 is a unit for economic cooperation. India highlighted its goal when we were given the presidency, that we will focus upon economic development, inclusive development, questions like climate finance and women-led development. But Quad is a group of like-minded democracies. In that, India, in the recent past also.
But Prashant, if I take you back to G20, the EAM said that we tried to reconcile, but it did not click. Russia and China did not agree. That means rest of them were agreeable on the document. Do you recall that?
So the exact statement I'm not able to.
Or doesn't it?
Yes.
So thank you, Prashant. I pass on to the member.
Thank you, sir.
Prashant,
Yes.
as Deputy Collector in UP, what type of challenges are you anticipating now?
Some specific challenge is the illegal encroachment of the land, which is being done by various land mafias and even the encroachment groups. Second is the law and order situation, though it is improving, but work need to be done to improve the concerns of women, as well as the crimes like murder, robbery, etc. So these are the two specific challenges that we face.
This UP is a big state, having 24 crores of people. In fact, it is in many ways bigger than many countries. Don't you think a bifurcation or trifurcation of this state is a feasible idea, is a possible idea, plausible idea, is a good idea?
So there are many arguments regarding the same bifurcation, but one major reason is administration will be easier, and second is the development factors and the social factors can be worked upon after bifurcation. But so the administrative cost which is involved in bifurcating a state is very high, and second, since there is a disparity between the western part and the eastern part, so in a way revenue from the western part is cross subsidizing the development in eastern part, so it will lead to suffering for the eastern part. So it is not a feasible idea in that aspect.
In UP recently, the bulldozer have been in action in Prayagraj. What do you think? This is a good step in administration? Bulldozer raising the buildings?
So illegal encroachment has been a major problem. If the administration is taking steps according to the law, then it can be justified. But if the steps are not taken according to the law, the concerned party must approach to court in order to get complete justice. So, but illegal encroachment should be done away with, and after all the due process and the rule of law.
Your optional subject is sociology.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, Prashant, what is a matrilineal society?
Some matrilineal society is one where the lineage is through the mother's side. And in India, particularly the Meghalaya, in Meghalayan state, and some part of Northeast, such societies are seen.
Now, in India, maximum are patriarchal societies. Right?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that in patriarchal society, the condition of the women is not considered good throughout the ages vis-a-vis men? But in matrilineal society, the condition of men is more or less equal to that of the women, isn't that? So what happened that the major chunk of the Indian subcontinent has patriarchal society, not matrilineal society or matriarchal society? Why?
So the one of the major reason is the role of production is aligned to the men, and the role of reproduction is considered to be women's role. So this aspect worked because of men. They spend 90% of their time or 99% of their time outside the houses in order to earn money. So this mindset has ingrained into the minds of the individual over a long period of time. So due to this, the patriarchal system is existing. And condition of women with regard to the degree of independence they are given, their participation.
Okay. What do you think? The customs, a lot of customs in our society. Do customs defy loyalty?
So customs are based on the collective principle, collective ideas that a society believes in. So to some extent, they can be considered illogical. In the sense, they are not aligned with the scientific ideas. They do not have any evidences in the society. So to that extent, they can be considered illogical. But if we are concerned with the faith of the individuals, then notion of rationality and these custom practices, they may or may not align in different areas.
So why humans are so much intrinsically linked with faith? Why?
So the sociological description for this is, it is the feeling of collective effervescence, that any problem that may occur, we can come together to fight it. A collective feeling that binds a community. So these customs bind the community into one. During their suffering, during happiness, they celebrate. During suffering, the sufferings are reduced because of these collective feelings, and due to this, the society.
Okay, my last question is about sanskar. In Hindu philosophy, we say there are sanskars. Do you know how many sanskars in a Hindu person's life? How many major sanskars? Like sanskar, vivah sanskar, antyeshti.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
You are not aware of sanskars? Okay.
Sorry, sir, I will read about it.
No issue. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Prashant, you want to enter civil services.
Yes, sir.
And civil service, while working, you will find there are huge amount of pressures. Pressure from staff, pressure from public, pressure from your boss, pressure from politicians. You can tackle all these different pressures that will come in your way.
So pressures in any job are part of the job that we are aligned to do.
No, this job will have probably much more.
Yes, sir. Certainly, it has a number of challenges. So in order to overcome pressure, first is to identify what can be the upcoming challenges due to this. Second, to have integrity and to always stand for truth in the direction. And third, being a good leader will help. And fourth is emotional intelligence and practicing perseverance, practicing patience in critical situations. It will help to solve such pressure.
So leadership, what it has got to do with withstanding the pressure?
Sir, if we are a good leader, it means we are visionary. We'll be able to identify the upcoming challenges. Second, as a leader, we will be forming a team and we will take decisions, and the success and the failure will be dependent upon how I deal with it. So pressure in that way will be reduced. I will not be overburdened by failure, and I will always move towards success. Despite tremendous pressure, I will uphold the values to which I am.
Right, good. Tell me about UP. What is GST collection of UP? And you have studied in Punjab.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Can you compare GST collection of UP with GST collection of Punjab?
So specific numbers I'm not aware of. I'm sorry.
You are
sir.
not aware? Okay, no problem. You are an industrial and production engineer, so we can talk about drone technology. So tell me on what technology drones function?
So drones use motor in order to a mix of motor technology, the GPS and the principle of aviation. That is the Bernoulli principle in order to work, and remote technology is involved in order to control them. Or
have you heard of nano drones? What are nano drones?
Yes, sir. I have heard of.
So what is the price of a nano drone?
So if I may take a guess. I'm not exactly sure about it.
Let me know what.
So it is cheaper, around 10,000 rupees. It can be made. If I'm not sure about it.
Right. Tell me about India's rich strategic culture. What is strategic culture of India?
So strategic culture.
Strategic culture.
So strategic with respect to, I'm not able to recall. Exactly.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Yes.
So otherwise, your views on one nation, one law.
So one nation,
one law.
one law. So one nation, one law can help to bring uniformity. Second, it will reduce the cost of the administration.
So what law are we talking of?
So
We cannot have one law for everything. So we are talking of one law. So which is one law which we are talking of at present?
So the uniform civil code. So the second, the religious and the personal differences that exist in every law, it may reduce. Third, the politicalization of the uniforms of the various personal laws, it will be reduced. So, but it has following apprehensions. First, the personal laws are very complex in nature, and certain minorities, they feel that their culture will be overridden by the majority culture. So, second is they are existing. The Law Commission also highlighted that unity and uniformity should not be seen as together. So, uniformity may not promote unity at this particular time.
Okay, last question. What is difference between carbon dating and carbon pricing?
So carbon dating is a technology which is used in order to identify the age of a particular compound or a particular object. So carbon pricing is the manner in which we decide the prices of the carbon which is being imported. If I'm able to recall. Exactly. Sorry, sir. I'm not exactly sure.
Accept it if you don't know.
Yes, sir.
Prashant, we are moving from an era of imprisonment to penalty, from fine to some kind of a censor. What is this? Are we promoting non-compliance, that you commit anything and pay fine, pay penalty, it's all right? Are we moving from over-criminalization to completely decriminalization?
So, over the period of time, the aspect of justice with respect to from retributive justice to reformative justice, these are emerging. And the organizing and reducing the penalties and focusing upon reforming the individual in various issues. And of course, this does not...
And what is in pipeline?
So, this can be done with respect to the corporate laws. And
So what is this Jan Vishwas bill?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware. I will read it.
Something is pending in Parliament. Many offences are being decriminalized. You haven't heard about it?
So I'm not able to recall correctly.
Prashant, we are renaming places very frequently. Are we unkind to history or trying to rewrite the history?
So naming of places is
Renaming.
Yes, sir. Renaming of places is more concerned with the popularity of certain areas amongst the citizens that live in it. So if there's a demand for it by the citizens and it is administratively feasible, then it can be done. But it should not be seen as erasing our history or rewriting it. But it should be celebration of the popular sentiment of the people.
What happened recently? What Supreme Court said about this demand? What was the context in which it made those observations very recently, 2 days back?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall.
Prashant, we are hearing a new right called right to be forgotten. What is this kind of right?
Sir, right to be forgotten arise in the era of internet, in the age of internet, wherein a particular person has the right to delete his personal and sensitive information or information that malign him over a period of time.
One puts this information and he wants to delete it.
So no, that information which is publicly available. And if, for example, if a criminal record of a person is there and he was convicted later, he was acquitted later, then that information should be removed because it may malign the image of the individual.
So that is a news. Supposing something gets printed in a newspaper, it can't be removed. It is not something, you can't remove it from a print media. There is the question of removing it. It is a Hydra head situation. It will come up in some form.
Yes, sir. This is one of the major issues with respect to right to be forgotten and to use it effectively. But for example, in Supreme Court, in one of the judgment highlighted that, for example, instead of using the name of the criminal, we may use Mr. X or Mr. Y when that person is acquitted. So in this manner, it can be practiced.
Prashant, do you think online gaming should be prohibited completely? Because a lot of young children are playing this game and losing money, wasting their time. It is actually a menace. Do you think it should be completely prohibited?
So online, it is a reality that online gaming is promoting violence as well. Second, it is leading to loss of money and of young individuals. But banning it completely is not a right step, particularly because the economic significance and the revenues that it generates. So second is, since India is moving towards an open economy and various startups are coming in this field. So reducing to prevent such industry from perpetuating, it will not be a right step. Thank you, sir.
Prashant, you like listening to podcasts.
Yes, sir.
Right? Is YouTube a podcast?
So YouTube is a platform on which various individuals, they put their videos, which can be called podcast.
Okay, so what is your opinion about regulation on YouTube? Anyone can post anything.
So it is a reality that YouTube needs to be regulated, and they are doing self-regulation to some extent. But the viral syndrome through which video spreads before YouTube is able to take action on that, this needs to be tackled. And herein, government and YouTube must work together in order to a formal solution has to be reached for that.
Now you also have a hobby of watching basketball.
Yes, sir.
So in India, we see leagues on volleyball, badminton, cricket is already there, football, kabaddi, pro kabaddi, but not in basketball. Why so? Why it is so ignored?
So the popularity of a particular game has a number of factors which are dependent upon it. One of the major factors is the level of popularity that it has reached before it can be transformed into a league, because economic questions are involved in making a league to perform better. So basketball has not reached to that level, but in the future, I think we can see such leagues.
Okay, now as a student of sociology, what 3 changes would you recommend in the present Indian society?
So first is the breakdown of joint family which is taking place. I would like to revert it. This change can help. Second is the degree of independence and participation in the decision making. Women can be more involved. Third is the condition of transgenders. We can work upon it.
Talking about recent union budget, tell me 3 things which you did not like about the budget or which should have been more focused upon.
So, though the union budget has various positive aspects, the social sector expenditure has been reduced, particularly the expenditure on the MG Narega scheme. So, second is the middle class, what they expected it to be. The 7 lakh taxation reform, it has not been welcomed by many sections. And so, third is with regard to progressive changes other than capital expenditure that people wanted to see.
Prashant, central agencies like CBI and ED are said to not to be truly independent. So, what's your take on that?
So it is multiple times it is being questioned that CBI and ED, since they are working under the government, so they are not independent to that extent. So it is true, because the manner in which these agencies are being used, many people question this. But since the CBI, we must have trust and faith in the institution, and this will emerge through promoting more transparency and through promoting more accountability of the government with regard to the appointments, as well as the manner of transfers and the time period for which our individual is holding position, etc.
Thank you, Prashant. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So Prashant, we have covered a lot of area. If you think that something has not been covered from your DAF and we didn't ask a question, so I can ask the last question if you wish.
No, sir, I think it has been covered.
You're okay?
Yes, sir.
So thank you, Prashant.
Thank you, sir.
We close our interview. We'll call you again in few minutes. Meanwhile, you can wait in the next room.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Come, Prashant. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Prashant. So first, we would like to hear you making your own assessment of today's interview.
Sir, in some areas, I think more clarity is needed.
First, you give your rating. Good, very good, excellent, outstanding.
So from the perspective of the question asked, I think it is outstanding. From the manner in which I delivered my answer.
No, I'm saying your perception. If you go and tell your parents, oh, today I did very good, I did excellent, I did good. That one word. Good. Okay. Now you tell the other things. So where did you think you could improve further?
So one was with regard to the question sir asked, in which I think more data can be given and more multi-dimensional points can be covered to some extent.
Yeah. So basically, we are not analyzing Prashant on the basis of how many questions you answered, how many you did not. So 2-3 things which have emerged is, number one, that you have a very good personality. You are very pleasing. You fielded questions very confidently, very comfortable. Your communication was good, delivery was good. Your overall persona was impressive. It's just that the knowledge part is slightly, needs improvement. Nothing else. And when I say knowledge, it means go deeper into your DAF areas first, because most of the questions, as you also know, are from DAF. They may range from 70% to even 90% these days in the actual UPSC interviews. So your Ghaziabad, I started with that. Then Uttar Pradesh, we did. Then I little bit about industrial engineering. Now something about industrial engineering, this is the only subject that you have which will be discussed, as a subject, as an industry, as a sector. So you have to be very well prepared. Now I may have asked you one example of application of technology and all. Keep 1 or 2 things in mind, even if you have not done it yourself. Had I been you, and suppose if I was prepared, I would have said, sir, I have not done anything internship, but I can give you an example of a product which can be, where AI can be applied and it has brought good results. Some success story, some case study. Right? So innovations in this sector. Otherwise, industrial engineering and all. The simulation model that you said, I have done OR, so I could know. The simulation model is so you are what? Otherwise, आप कोई expert नहीं हो तो क्या भी चल जाएगा वो. So don't say anything which is not correct. है ना? सो पहले से कुछ चीज AI का जरूरी नहीं निकालना. इनोवेशन, सिमुलेशन मॉडल इज अ इनोवेशन. It is application of industrial engineering tools, basically, is it not? But when I asked you, and you yourself mentioned that AI has found a lot of this thing. Search for some product where actually, and give the modern age कोई ऐसा जो cutting edge कोई चीज हो जो बताओ जिससे एकदम लगे कि हाँ you are updated with your. You see in UPSC guideline you can see that something which arouses your interest. You are an industrial engineer. तो आप जहाँ भी कुछ जरा सा कुछ नजर आता है अखबार में या कुछ आता है, और लेट मी रीड, आई एम एन एक्सपर्ट ऑन दिस. सो दिस इज हाउ यू नो योर पैशन फॉर knowing more about your subject of interest will come up. Otherwise you were good, and I think I could ask only 2-3 questions, but overall it was very nice. So brush up your knowledge, DAV and things of what is happening. The quad thing also you could not mention. Current affairs.
Yes, वो
you're not reading newspapers.
सर नहीं, आज के न्यूज़पेपर था
बस वो आज ही का
वो आधी रीड किया नहीं.
इंटरव्यू भी तो उसी दिन हो.
हाँ सर, वो I'll make sure.
So keep in mind.
Yes.
Thank you, Prashant.
Thank you, sir.
Prashant, you are a very good candidate. You have done well, answered good. Okay, and in fact, you answered very good. And on some aspects of your optional subject, so go through those things, right? The various societal functions, how they are made, what are the issues, like I told you, sanskars and all that. They are very quite common. There are major 16 sanskars actually, which are originally they were 40 or something. So you go through, because a supplementary question on
Yes,
this thing can always be there.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Otherwise, in other questions, you are very good. So I have nothing more to say to you. Just keep on doing whatever you are doing. Study current affairs, etc. You will do well, I tell you. All the best.
Prashant, very good personality, very good conversation. You addressed the first problem very well, pressures and how will you tackle it. Because there could have been, supplementaries had you not properly replied to that. Then comes GST collection, know everything about UP. Because these are indicators, economic indicators. You must find out what is collection. Drone technology, look into what you replied. Not right. Okay? So, yes. Read again on drone technology, strategic culture. Kautilya's strategic culture. So again, you have to read on what is strategic culture. Carbon pricing also reply.
So वो framing में I had some
framing
difficulties
नहीं कर पा रहे थे.
Yes.
Framing नहीं कर पा रहे थे. इसका आंसर solution एक ही है कि these are indicative questions. This is sort of telling you directions that this is the area which you need to cover. And since you are industrial engineer, we are talking of drones, we are talking of AIs. So these are the technologies which are current. So it's important to talk of technology. Then environment certainly is one item. So carbon dating ठीक थी, लेकिन carbon pricing ठीक नहीं थी. So just read up more. Right? So you are doing very well. Wish you all the best.
प्रशांत, मेरा पहला ही सवाल आपके ऊपर ये था डिक्रिमिनलाइजेशन के बारे में. तो यू शुड हैव इमीडिएटली गॉन टू दैट जन विश्वास बिल. 180 ऑफेंसेस आर बीइंग डिक्रिमिनलाइज्ड. हम एक ऐसी सोसाइटी हो चुके हैं जहां पे हर चीज, इवन फॉर अ 500 रुपी फाइन वी स्टार्ट प्रोसिक्यूशन एंड विदाउट एनी रिजल्ट. The ultimate objective is more compliant society. And what is the distinction between prosecution and adjudication? What is the distinction between fine and penalty? And that bill is very important. तो आपने शायद ध्यान दिया होगा, पढ़ा होगा, ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता ये मिस किया होगा. तो वो जरूरी है. सिमिलरली सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अभी रीनेमिंग ऑफ प्लेसेस के बारे में कहा है कि you can't do this like this. You have to accept history as it is. तो वो भी, ये सारी चीजें आसपास की घटनाएं ही हैं जिसको आपको समझना और उसको ठीक तरीके से पेश करना एक आर्ट और स्किल है.
So overall, as well as in my questions, you were quite good. So just keep it up. बस एक अपना टाई का नॉट ठीक कर लेना, सिंगल है, देख लेना, थोड़ा सा ऑड लग रहा है ना? Otherwise, keep working on content. I am sure you will do well. So I pass on to Chairman sir.
So Prashant, any questions from the panel?
Specifically, sir, no question. Satisfied.
No
So,
question.
in what depth should I prepare this deputy collector? Because since I have not joined, so do I need to
You
prepare
have
it
got into the
through the PCS? PCS exam.
PCS.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are you at the moment? Provisioner.
So currently the joining will come by March end. So currently I'm not under training, nothing.
Okay. So you joined and took leave.
So the joining is yet to come. All the
joining
formalities
is also yet to come. So
Yes,
why
sir.
are you sharing this information?
To share. Should I share?
Is
or
it
not?
mentioned in the DAF?
So no, in the DAF it is not.
No. How prepared you are for deputy collector answers, questions and answers?
So I have covered the basic functions which they are looking to this question.
You see, if you tell that you have been selected as deputy collector, it will go in your favor. Because PSC has selected you. So your bent of mind towards administration is proved. So you can avoid some question, like why civil service, this, that. You've already shown that I'm in civil services. The question could be asked is that why do you want to come from state to the center? So I think it is very common sense you can answer
Yes.
that. Regarding deputy collectorship, your experience, you can't even say that, I have not even joined that way. You must then specify, sir, I have been selected in UP PCS and I'm yet to join. You have got the appointment letter?
So the appointment letter will be dispersed by March end. It was to happen in January, but
नहीं पता कैसे लगा आपको result आया उससे?
So any result or medical formalities.
So you can say I have been selected for UP PCS. Yes. You haven't got the appointment letter so far. I have been selected for UP PCS. That's all. So the question chances will be less. But if even in that case they can ask, because they will be more fixated on UP administration. So something on crime, something of women, crime on women, right? Then something about the fallout of the global summit. How would you implement all that has been? You have got so much of money, 33 lakh crores. Now what do you do with it? That is the bigger problem. Most of the time these investor summit are big show. बाद में वो implement नहीं होता, वो अडानी यहाँ चले जाएंगे, अबानी कहीं इधर फिसल, वहाँ बड़े announcement करके और फिर they don't come back. So what are the things which in your district, suppose the projects which have come in your district, how would you see that they are implemented? Then we tell about ease of doing business. Do you have the conducive atmosphere to do ease of doing business, to retain these investments? See, अभी तो शुरू हुआ है, अभी तो उन्होंने intention बताया है. They have not deposited 33 lakh crores with UP. They have just said कि मैं 1000 crore का एक plant लगाऊंगा, मैं 10,000 का लगाऊंगा, गिन के हो गया 33 लाख. ठीक है ना, वो कब लगाएंगे, MOU होगा, contract होगा, land खरीदेंगे. So how will you facilitate that this investment is translated into actual, on the ground? This could be one question. Or बाकी, I think UP, nothing is.
Overall, yes, I have covered. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We have given you 66%, Prashant, today.
122 marks.
This is your first interview in UPSC?
Yes,
Very good. You're doing very good, Prashant. Just थोड़ा सा अपने knowledge को बढ़ा लो. These opportunities come very rarely. You should not miss it. Okay? And you have time?
So I have around 21 days.
Enough. तुमने मेंस 21 दिन में क्या 5 दिन में मेंस निपटा दिए सारे 1800 के पेपर्स, तो 275 के लिए 21 दिन में क्या करोगे? If you need, you make questions and answers. Call out questions from your DAF. Prepare answers.
Yes, sir. Currently, I'm doing in this format. I will add
answers भी वो बनाओ जो बोलोगे.
Yes, sir, directly.
That is the best. So you're on the right track. Very good. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.